I'd like the congregation to repeat this after me. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I am at the right place.
I am at the right place.
At the right time.
At the right time.
I am at the right place.
I am at the right place.
At the right time.
At the right time.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. When you go on with these songs now, you can clap your hands, stomp your feet, tap the ring up in front of you. Do anything you want.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom. Shalom, Shabbat, shalom. Welcome to the Yahweh and Yahshua Speak television show. We are going to start a lesson this evening entitled, The Earth is the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Let's go to Isaiah, the 49th chapter. Isaiah 49, the earth is the valley of the shadow of death. Isaiah 49. Yahshua, chapter 49. And we're going to read one verse. Let me know when you get it, sis.
Okay.
All right, Isaiah chapter 49, and let's read verse 8, please.
Hallelujah.
Thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in a day of salvation have I helped thee, and I will preserve thee, and give thee for a convenient covenant of the people, to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate
heritages. All right. It says, thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, or shamar thee, and in a day of salvation. So we all had a day of salvation. We accepted Yahweh at different times. It says, and I will preserve thee, he's preserving us, and given us for a berith or covenant of the people, Ha'am, for what? To establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritages. So we accepted Yahweh at different times, and we sing a song, On My Way to the Kingdom. It's all right. Obeying Yahweh 24/7 with all my might. It says, I'm getting ready, get ready, because here I come, I'm on my way to the kingdom. Go to Revelation, the 20th chapter. So just as we accepted Yahweh at different times, we get to the kingdom under different circumstances.
Y'all right, tell like it is.
Revelation 20, number 1, with the devil's direct influence outside of the millennium or 1,000-year period. Or number 2, without his direct influence inside the millennium or 1,000-year period. Go to Revelation, the 20th chapter. So we get to the kingdom under different circumstances. Revelation 20. And here's what makes the difference between now, the circumstances that we are facing the devil in, and the circumstances that will be during the 1,000-year or millennium period. Revelation 20, and let's read verses 1 to 3, please.
Hallelujah.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season.
All right, so we see that there is going to come a future time. The time is not now. The devil is loose. It says there's going to be a Malach, an angel come down from Shemayim or heaven, and he's got a key, the key of the bottomless pit, and he's got a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that's talking about the devil, Satan, and he's going to bind him in these chains for 1,000 years and throw him, verse 3, into the bottomless pit and shut him up and put a seal on him. It says that he should not deceive the nations anymore until these 1,000 years are fulfilled. But after that, he's going to be loosed a little season. So during this 1,000 year period, which is after Yahshua's second coming to the earth, there will be 1,000 years where people will be shielded from the devil's direct influence.
Yep,
Go to
yep.
Isaiah the 30th chapter. Isaiah 30th chapter. That is a future time. They will be shielded from the devil's direct influence.
Praise God, mighty God.
Isaiah 30, or Yahshua. And we want to read verses 20 to 21. Isaiah 30, verses
Hallelujah.
20 to 21.
And though Yahweh gave you the bread of adversity, and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left.
So this is what the people during the 1,000 year millennium period are going to have. It says, and though Yahweh give you the bread of adversity and the mayim or water of affliction, shall not thy Yara or teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy Yara or teachers. Newsflash, that's going to be us, those of us raised in the first resurrection.
Yeah.
All right, we will be spiritual beings. It says, and your ears shall hear a devour word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right, your main hand, or when you turn to the Samu or the left hand. So they will have those of us raised in the first resurrection to tell them the right path to take.
Yes.
Also, humans born during the 1,000 year period will live long lives like people did before the flood. Go to Isaiah the 65th chapter. Isaiah 65th chapter. And one verse, verse 20.
Hallelujah.
And they shall bring all
Isaiah 65th chapter and verse 20.
There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have not filled his days, for the child shall die 100 years old. But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
All right, it says, during this 1,000 year or millennium period, there shall be no more an infant of days. Now they count infants as what? 12 months, 24 months. It says, there shall be no more an infant of days, nor an old man that had not filled his days, for the child shall die at 100 years old. So 100 years old will be considered part of childhood. It says, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. So the animals also will return to their Garden of Eden natures. Isaiah 65, let's skip down to verse 25.
Hallelujah.
The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains, say Yahweh.
So this is how it's going to be during the 1,000 year period. And then Yahweh saying in my holy mountain, because Yahshua is going to set up his headquarters in Jerusalem for 1,000 years and be ruling and reigning on the earth along with us ruling and reigning with him.
Yes.
Says the wolf and the lamb shall feed together. They won't be trying to eat each other.
Right,
The
right.
wolf won't be trying to eat the lamb anymore. The lion's going to eat straw like the bullock,
Right,
like
right.
the bull. And the serpent won't be trying to eat or swallow a lizard or a rat or whatever. He's going to be eating dust. He's going to be eating vegetables. They should not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains. So all these things are going to be turned back to
Yes.
the way they were.
Yes.
And then the devil's going to be in the bottomless pit in chains. But even with the devil located in the bottomless pit in chains, people will still be influenced by him. They will still sin and go to the lake of fire. We saw that in Isaiah 65 and 20. The sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. So
Right.
even though the devil's chained and locked up, and he's indirectly influencing them, they will still be able to sin. Let's go to Psalms 23. So the circumstances under which we live now, and they live in the 1,000-year period, will be different, but the devil's influence still has to be controlled.
Yep, yep.
And especially since he's got a direct influence, Psalms 23, in our lives. And this is why we need a shepherd. And Yahweh told us about our shepherd, just one of the places in Psalms 23. So we want to read verses 1 to 6, please.
Hallelujah.
Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for thy name's sake.
For
Yeah.
his namesake.
Namesake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me.
Now, Yahweh is saying, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Well, the earth is the valley of the shadow of death.
Yeah.
I will fear no evil, for Yahweh is with me. This shepherd, his rod and his staff comforts me. Read verses 5 to 6.
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
Yes.
Thou anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever.
Yes.
So we need a shepherd in the
Yes.
earth realm because of the devil's influence.
Yep.
The shepherd in Psalms 23 is Yahweh's son, Yahshua.
Let's
Let's go to Romans, the 8th chapter. So the shepherd watches out for, he protects and provides for us, Yahweh's sheep. Romans, the 8th chapter. You need a shepherd for protection.
Yeah.
And to watch out for you. Romans, the 8th chapter. And let's start at let's read verses 29 to 32.
Hallelujah.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
All right, 30.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate them, he also called, and whom he called them, he also justified, and whom he justified them, he also glorified.
Now this is giving you some of the duties of what the shepherd is doing for the sheep. For whom he did foreknow, he did also predestinate to be conformed, these sheep, to the image of his son.
Yes.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. He called the sheep.
Right.
And he also justified his sheep.
He did.
And he also glorified his sheep.
Yes,
This is what the
his
shepherd
kabod.
is doing in the earth realm. All right, verse 31 and 32.
What shall we then say to these things? If Elohim be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us, all how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
So this is what the shepherd did. It said, what shall we say then to these things? He predestinated us, he called us, he justified us, he glorified us. If Elohim or Yahweh be for us, if the shepherd is for us, who can be against us?
Nothing.
The devil's stupid. He tries to be against us, but he can't win. He that spared not his own son, own bond, but delivered him up for us all.
Yes.
How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? So the English word shepherd is the Hebrew word ra'ah. That's R-A''AH. Found in Blue Letter Bible number 7462. It means shepherd. It also means female shepherdess. It means teacher of people as a flock, to associate with, to be a special friend. Jasenia's Hebrew Chaldee lexicon defines shepherd as to feed a flock, to pastor, to tend, to delight in any person or thing, to join oneself as a companion to anyone, to hold dialogue with. Let's go to 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. So at our first temple, me and my husband Micaiah's first temple, we sang a song going to 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. At the congregation of Israel, under Messenger James Stearns, at the end of the service, we would always sing, my mind is made up.
Yes.
And I'm on my way up.
Yes, we
Gonna
are.
hold my head up.
Okay.
Going on with Yahweh. Of course, we said the L-O-R-D, but now we understand the L-O-R-D is Yahweh. But we would always sing that. My mind is made up. I'm on my way up. Gonna hold my head up. Going on with Yahweh. He was talking about Psalms 23. Why? Because our hand is in the hand of the shepherd. He's leading us.
Yes.
2 Peter 3. So the shepherd joined with us in the earth as a companion to control the devil's influence. The devil's influence will mainly be using people to mock us and to scorn us and to laugh at us and to look at us and make us think we're stupid because we believe in Yahweh and we believe in Yahshua. 2 Peter 3. And let's read verses 3 to 4, please.
Hallelujah.
Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
So this is one of the devil's main things.
I know, right?
And then the shepherd saying, know this first. There shall come in the last Yowm days scoffers, walking after their own lust and telling you, if you listen to the foolishness, where is the promise of Yahshua's second coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. There is nobody coming back. There is no creator. There is no lake of fire. They'll tell you this stuff. Why? That's the devil's way of trying to get you distracted and get you off track. Go to Matthew 24. So the King James Bible calls these people scoffers. And the shepherd gives us a mind to win out over the devil's scoffers. They want you to listen to them long enough to where you start to doubt and you start to think, oh well, I got plenty of time. Oh well, everybody is believing this. No, everybody is not believing that foolishness.
That's right, we not.
Matthew 24. And all you have to do is come to one of Yahweh's temple and you'll find out. No. There's a lot of people scoffing and scorning and thinking that you're stupid or you're weak-minded because
Right.
you believe the Bible.
Y'all right, tell like it is.
Just because the majority of people think like that,
Huh?
you better recognize where they're going with
Right,
that
right.
way of thinking. Matthew 24. And we're going to read one verse, verse 13.
Hallelujah.
So the shepherd gives us the mind to win out
Yeah.
over the devil scoffing at you.
Yes.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Yeah.
All right? He that shall endure unto the end. The end, Yahshua's second coming, or your end,
All right.
which is your leaving this earth and waiting on the resurrection.
Right.
The English word endure in this verse is the New Testament Greek word found at Blue Letter Bible number 5278. Thayer's Greek lexicon defines endure as not backing away,
Okay.
not receding, not fleeing, but persevering absolutely
Yep.
and emphatically under misfortunes and trials,
Hallelujah.
holding fast to
Hallelujah.
one's faith. Ezekiel
Hallelujah.
22. That person that endures unto the end, that
Yes,
person is
yes.
going to make it to the kingdom. Ezekiel 22. And why? Because you're in the earth. And the earth is a valley of the shadow of death.
Hallelujah.
Ezekiel 22. And it got that way when the first man gave it over to the devil.
Right.
Ezekiel 22. And verse 14.
Hallelujah.
Ezekiel 22. I'll read it. Can thine heart endure, or can thine hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? I, Yahweh, have spoken it and will do it.
Wow.
So he's saying, can your mind endure this? That's why we used to sing that song at the congregation of Israel. My mind is made up.
Yeah.
I'm on my way up. Yahweh's not taking me down, he's taking me up. He's taking me up higher. He's making me think right. I used to think backwards. Now I think forward.
Hallelujah.
So Yahweh said, can your mind endure? Or can your hands be strong in the days that I'm dealing with you? He's your shepherd, he's my shepherd. So the English word endure in this Old Testament is the Hebrew word amad. That's A-M-A-D. Found at Blue Letter Bible number 5975. Jusinian's Hebrew Chaldee lexicon defines endure as to stand, to set firmly, to sustain, used of men, to serve, to minister to him, Yahweh, used of the prophets, the priests, to stand firm before anyone, to resist him, to persist, to persevere, to stand up, to be appointed, to establish, to be set up as statutes, to be placed and remain.
Yes.
Go to 1 Peter, the first chapter. The shepherd said, he that shall endure unto the end.
Yeah.
So that means wherever Yahweh placed you, he said, occupy till I come.
That right.
When he placed you there, that means you stay there and you hold it down until he comes.
Hallelujah.
Right. 1 Peter. This world is famous for quitting.
Right.
That's the world's trademark.
Huh.
Yeah.
They quit when things are going well.
I know,
And
right?
don't let things go the way they think. They'll quit, not in a minute, they'll quit in a millisecond.
Yep.
1 Peter 1. Why? Because they're about quitting.
Uh-huh.
That's why you, as Yahweh's sheep, the shepherd gives you a mind to do the opposite.
Right.
To be like him, to be like Yahweh. 1 Peter 1, and let's read one verse, verse 9, please.
Hallelujah.
Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls.
So that's the end of enduring to the end. The end of your immunal faith, the salvation of your
Right.
nephesh,
Right,
your
right.
soul.
Right.
You repented, you got baptized, You got saved, but then again, you're walking out your salvation.
That's right.
You have to endure until the end.
Hallelujah.
You have to stand up until the end. You have to keep obeying Yahweh until the end. You have to keep doing right until the end. You have to keep learning and walking along this path until the end, like Yahweh is showing you.
Right.
Now you have the opportunity to quit at any time, but we would caution you and warn you: don't quit.
I know, right?
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
James, the 5th chapter.
Praise.
So you receive the end of your faith, even the salvation of your soul.
Yes.
Talking about you yourself.
That's right.
Now along the way, when you do this thing like Yahweh tells you, you're going to be able to help some other people get salvation.
Hallelujah.
But if you all immature and wrapped up and tied up in yourself,
I know, right? Y'all right, bro.
we're praying that you make it to the kingdom your own self. James, the 5th chapter.
Huh?
But the shepherd wants to get your mind right.
Yes.
So not only I make it to the kingdom, but as many people as he's put within my sphere of influence,
Yes.
that he can influence, they make it to the kingdom.
Hallelujah.
James 5:1 verse 11, please.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Behold, we count them happy,
Yes.
which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job,
Yes.
and have seen the end of Yahweh, that Yahweh is very pitiful and of tender mercy.
Yes.
Right, he's very merciful.
Yes,
He sent his
yes.
son, all right, to come and get us, to give us a way back,
Right.
to save us from the lake of fire.
Yes.
He said, behold, we count them happy
Yes, we are.
that endure.
Yes.
He said, you heard of the patience of Job. You've seen the end of Yahweh, that he's very pitiful, a tender-hearted, and a tender mercy.
Yes, he
So
does.
the 4 English words, we count them happy, are one Greek word found in Blue Letter Bible number 3106. Vine's Expository Dictionary of New Testament Words defines them as, we count them large, we count them lengthy, we count them pronounced blessed.
Yes.
We call them blessed
Yes.
that endure. Why?
Hallelujah.
Because we that are enduring understand why we're enduring.
Praise Him.
Exodus, the 18th chapter. We understand we're on the straight and narrow path.
That right?
And we understand that the world is a valley of shadow of death.
Huh.
And guess what? You're going to find out that the paths of righteousness
Yes.
are in the valley of the shadow of death, which
Okay.
is the earth.
Okay. Yes, it is.
So that we count them happy that endure. Exodus 18 and 1 verse 23. Some people count them as a tragedy. Oh, why do I have to go to
I know, right?
Hey, you need to get some understanding. Exodus 18, and that's what Yahweh brought this lesson to do to you.
Praise
Verse
Him.
23.
Hallelujah.
If thou shalt do this thing, and Elohim command thee, so then thou shalt be able to endure.
Yes.
And all this people shall also go to their place.
Hallelujah.
So see what happens when I do what
I know, right?
Let the shepherd show me how to do this thing and give me the right mind.
That right?
Says, if thou shalt do this thing, in other words, endure. Let Yahweh set you up and put you in a place and you remain there.
Hallelujah.
You let him establish you.
Hallelujah.
You let him set you up.
Right.
He talks about us being pillars in the temple.
Yes.
All right?
The mighty Yah.
He said, if you shall do this thing, endure, and Elohim Sabbath, he commanded you to endure, then thou shalt be able to endure. Well, you got to submit to endure.
Yes.
The flesh don't like nothing that's going to hurt it.
Right.
All right? The flesh don't like nothing that's going to make it uncomfortable.
Right.
But you know what? He said, you're a soldier,
Right.
and he's going to show you how you can make your flesh do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Praise Him.
And he said, then you'll be able to endure.
Yes.
And all this people shall also go to their place in shalom
Yes.
and peace. People around you
Right,
will
right.
start enduring. And they'll
Hallelujah.
be in peace about it. They won't be in turmoil fighting their flesh. The shepherd teaches us that when we make enduring a lifestyle,
Yes.
it leads to peace.
It's a must.
Thayer's Greek lexicon also defines endure as when trials and tribulations come, we cleave faithfully and wait for Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
We bear bravely and calmly ill treatment. Let's go to Mark 13. So that endure also includes that. Now you talking some fighting words for people that are about their flesh.
Okay.
They don't want to go one step out of the way. When you're talking about Yahweh making them not feel quite right, Matthew 13. But you're talking about a baby. And the shepherd is right there. We used to be babies.
Right, right.
Help them all grow up. That is if they want to. If they
That's
want to
it.
wear Pampers all their life, then they got some Pampers for adults now, right?
Right,
Yes,
right.
they do.
Years ago they didn't have
They
those.
call the pants.
They got some Depends, that's right, for the adults. All right.
They depend on.
Mark 13, Mark 13 and verse 13.
Hallelujah.
And ye shall be hatred of all men for my name's sake. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So you see, we are saved, but we're in the process of being saved.
Right, right.
We're walking this thing out. He said, work out your own salvation. I'm working out my salvation. You should be working out yours.
All right.
That's how you get it. You don't just go and get baptized in the water and then you just go do whatever you feel like you want to do. No. You walking this thing out until the end when Yahshua comes back, his second coming, or your end,
Right.
meaning that you leave here and you go wait for the resurrection. He said, you shall be hated now. This is the devil's, his direct influence on you. Remember, we're not in the millennium period.
Right,
where
right.
you shielded from that. But Yahweh's giving you all the armor and everything you need
Yes,
in order to be able to deal with whatever the devil's trying
Yes.
to get on you. All right? You shall be hated of all men. Why? Not for your sake. Why? Because you're loving on Yahweh and you're loving on Yahshua and you're standing up and letting people know who you are by
Right.
what you say, how you live, how you act.
Hallelujah.
Where you at every Friday night, where you at every Shabbat day,
Hallelujah.
where you at every yearly Shabbat. People going to hate you for that. Either it's going to be all right with you or it's not. But you better settle that quick
It's
and make
all
your
right
mind
with
up
us.
because you're going to be tormented the rest of your life
Yep.
and in the lake of fire.
Oh, wow.
He said, but he that shall endure unto the end, that is, bear bravely and calmly, still cleave faithfully, waiting on Yahweh unto the end, the same, going to receive the culmination of that salvation. Go to Mark the 2nd chapter. So the shepherd teaches us enduring wins out over the devil's influence. That's how you win. You outlast the devil. And you don't have to let him be beating you up while you outlasting
Nope.
him. No, you can beat him up.
That's it.
Yeah.
The shepherd teaches us enduring is winning out over the devil's influence. Mark the 2nd chapter. And the simplest way to win is to never give up.
That's it.
That's the simplest way to win.
Yes.
Mark 2. And so many people just zoned out. They missed that one. The simplest way to win is never to give up.
Right.
Mark 2, and let's start at verse 1, please.
Hallelujah.
And again he entered into
Capernaum.
Capernaum after some days, and it was noised that he was in the house.
Keep going.
And straightway many were gathered together, insomuch that there was no room to receive them, no, not so much. Us about the door, and he preached the word unto them.
Verse 3.
And they came into him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was born of 4.
All right, now here are some brothers, and they're carrying this man, and evidently he couldn't walk. And Yahshua was in this house in Capernaum or Capernaum, and so he was teaching, and there was so many people in the house and around the house.
Yeah.
He said that they couldn't even get in the door or near the door. And it says, and they came bringing this brother on the bed, and there was 4 men carrying him. All right. They could have said, well, you know what, there's too many people. Let's just go back.
Right.
No. Yeah, the shepherd's getting that mind in you, which is like his mind.
Yes.
And so let's see what these brothers did. Verse 4.
When they could not come nigh unto him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was. And when they had broken it up, they let down the bed wherein the sick of the palsy lay.
Now these 4 brothers went up on the rooftop.
Okay.
Not only went up there, but they had the man on the bed and brought him up there. And they took the tiles off the roof. It said when they had broken up the roof.
Right.
With Yahweh, there's always a way.
Yes.
Always a way.
Yes.
When they got up to the housetop, they took the man up there, they broke the roof up, took the tiles off the roof, broke it up, put a hole in the roof.
Right.
Then the 4 brothers figured out how they could lower this man down in the middle where Yahshua was. The simplest way to win over the devil is never to quit.
That's it.
These brothers didn't even think about quitting.
Nope.
And so they let Yahweh say, okay, now how can we get in here? We can't get, there's another way. There's always a way with Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
All right, verse 5.
When Yahshua saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sins he forgiven thee.
Now it says Yahshua saw their faith. What did he see? He saw them doing something.
Yeah.
When somebody talking about how much faith they have and they're not doing anything, they have no faith. He saw what they did. That's what he saw.
Yes.
All the things that they went through to lower the man in so the man could get his healing.
Yes.
And he told the man, your sins are forgiven. The man had to be willing too to be lowered down. So all 5 brothers were in this together.
Right.
That's the kind of people I want to be surrounded with.
Hallelujah.
And I praise Yahweh at this temple and at the temples that we have encountered brothers and sisters at.
Yes.
We've been surrounded by those people.
Hallelujah.
That's a noble, beautiful group of people.
Yes.
All right, verse 6. Now here you come with the rest of the world.
But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts.
Go ahead.
Why don't this man thus speak blasphemies? You can forgive. Who can forgive sins but Elohim only?
Verse 8.
And immediately when Yahshua perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, Why reason ye these things in your hearts?
All right, so you're always going to have the devil telling you, you're always going to have people being influenced by the devil, missing the boat, missed the whole thing that went on spiritually.
Right.
All right? And then Yahshua just addressed him. Hey, he perceived, he said, what are you thinking? They didn't say it out loud.
Right.
Ruach HaKodesh had him read their thoughts.
Hallelujah.
He said, what are you debating within yourself for? Why are you trying to figure this out on your natural level? All right, with your noggin. All right, verse 9.
Whether is it easier to say to the sick of the palsy, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and take up thy bed and walk?
Go ahead.
But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. The smith to the sick of the palsy.
Wait. He saith.
Oh, he saith to the sick of the palsy.
11.
I say unto thee, arise and take up the bed and go thy way into thine house.
So Yahshua, the shepherd did a little explaining to them, but he just kind of, went on, and he said, I say unto you, talking to the man, arise, take up your bed, go your way into your house. Verse 12.
And immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all, insomuch that they were all amazed and glorified Elohim, saying, we never saw it on this fashion.
And the same with you and me. People will say things, we never saw it on this fashion. Why? Because that's Yahweh doing it right on this level. That's what he wants. As soon as Yahshua told him, hey, take your bed up, go to your house. Well, he came down through the ceiling.
Right.
But he walked out through the midst of the people.
Hallelujah.
But Yahweh got the glory.
Yes.
All right, go to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. So the shepherd is helping develop mindsets to endure in the sheep.
Yes.
1 Peter, the 4th chapter. Then we find out enduring is not strange. We won't be thinking something strange is happening to us.
Normal
1 Peter, the 4th chapter. The shepherd is helping develop mindset to endure. 1 Peter 4. Because that's what it's going to take to walk on this path, the path of righteousness.
Hallelujah.
In the valley of the shadow of death.
Yeah.
Let's read one verse. 1 Peter 4, verse 12.
Hallelujah.
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
All right, he's saying, beloved, he's talking to the sheep.
Right,
the shepherd's talking to Yahweh's children. He's talking to his people. Beloved, don't think it's strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, don't think it's strange concerning the fiery trial. What's it for? To try you. To see whether you're going to keep holding on to Yahweh, keep believing in Yahweh. To see whether you're going to stand up and develop the right mind to endure.
I know, right?
As though some strange thing happened unto you.
Right.
Go to Psalms 23. So the shepherd is joined with us as our companion in the earth realm.
Yes. Thank you.
What else is he doing by joining with us? He's leading us to peace, restoration, and down the paths of righteousness. Psalms 23.
Yeah.
He's leading us down the paths of righteousness.
Yeah.
Psalms 23.
Thank you.
And let's read one verse. Verse 3. Psalms 23 and verse 3.
He restored my soul.
Oh, yes.
He leadeth me in the path of righteousness.
Thank you, Father.
For his name's sake.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
He's doing it for you, but he's also doing it for himself.
That's right.
Why? I look much better following Yahweh than I do whatever else I might have decided to do with my life.
Yes.
He restores your soul and my soul. He leads you and me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So the English word paths is a Hebrew word magal, that's M-A-G-A-L, or magalah, that's M-A-G-A-L-A-H, found at Blue Letter Bible number 4570. Justinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines paths as a track, a rut, a way used of a course of action. The paths of righteousness are the pathways we walk on the earth.
Yeah.
Proverbs 14. So they're on the earth, Proverbs 14. But the earth is also the valley of the shadow of death. That's why you have fiery trials along the way. And Yahweh gets your head on straight so you don't be thinking straight. People think once they come to Yahweh, they're gonna, get in the pink Cadillac with the sunroof top. What is it? The song years ago, digging the scene with a gangster lead.
Yeah.
Right. And just people gonna be throwing rose petals down.
I know, right?
For them to walk on.
Huh.
Yahweh and Yahshua got some spiritual rose petals thrown down.
Yes, yes.
But now you also on the earth, which is the valley of the shadow of death. And so the devil is trying to do his best. Yahweh is showing you how to put your boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
So he doesn't beat you up, you beat him up.
Yeah.
All right? I like beating the devil up
Me too.
Right.
better than the other way around.
Right.
He doesn't beat me up anymore.
Right.
And he is not going to beat you all up anymore either.
No, he's not.
All right, Proverbs 14. And we want to read verse 12.
Hallelujah.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Now, what I might decide as the pathway I want to walk before I met Yahweh, it might have seemed right to me.
Yeah.
Yahweh said, hey, that way's going to end in death.
I know, right?
Now I know I'm walking on the path of
Right.
righteousness,
Yes.
and I know where that path is leading me
Yes.
to. All right? So I don't want to be walking on the path that seems to be
I
right
know,
to me.
right?
No. I want the shepherd
Yeah.
to hold my hand and walk me down the paths of righteousness for real. Go to John, the 10th chapter. John or Yachanan, the 10th chapter. So the shepherd is the door
Yep.
that gets us on the paths of righteousness.
All right.
Without the shepherd,
Huh.
we won't find the door.
No, you
We
wrong.
can't get on the path. John 10 and 1 verse 9.
Hallelujah.
I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved,
Yes.
and shall go in and out, and find
Yes.
Hallelujah.
All right, this is the shepherd saying he's the door.
Yes.
Well, we got hooked up with him in Psalm 23.
Yes.
He said, hey, he's our shepherd, we shall not want.
Right.
He said, I'm the door.
Yep.
If I use that door,
Uh-huh.
I shall be saved. Again, I am saved, but I'm in the process of being saved.
Right.
And shall go in and out and find pasture.
Yes.
So I can go in and out of that door.
Everywhere.
And I'm always on the path
Yes.
of righteousness.
Yes.
Go back to Psalms 23.
Hallelujah.
Psalms 23, and this time we want to read verse 4.
Hallelujah.
verse 4.
Yes, Psalms 23 and verse 4.
Surely goodness,
Psalms 23 and verse 4.
I'm on Psalms 23.
And read verse 4.
Oh, I do it wrong. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art.
No, I will.
I will walk through.
Wait, come on, slow down now. Let's start over with 4, please.
Yea, though I walk through the shadow
Slow
The
down
valley
through, yes.
of the shadow of death,
Uh-huh.
I will fear
Yes.
no evil,
Uh-huh.
for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
All right, now, here's the psalmist saying that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's a human being on the earth. He
Right,
says,
right.
yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The earth is the valley of the shadow of death.
Yep,
He
yep.
said, I won't fear any evil, even through those fiery trials, even under the devil's direct influence, because he's only going to be taken out of the way during the 1,000-year period. He said, why? Because the shepherd's with me. He's with you. He was with the psalmist. His rod and his staff was comforting the psalmist and is comforting us. So Psalms 23 says, we walk on the paths of righteousness. And the paths of righteousness are through the valley of the shadow of death. Go to Job, the 1st chapter. That's where they are. You're not going to go up to where Yahweh's throne is and walk on the paths of righteousness.
Right.
You walking on them right here and right now, or you walking on the paths of wickedness. Job 1. And verse 7.
Hallelujah.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, whence cometh thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Now, here's Hasatan. He's walking up and down in it. Well, he wants to stay close to the paths of righteousness. Why? So he can talk to you and me. So he
Right.
can try to get us off the path.
Hallelujah.
Yahweh said to Satan, where you coming from? He said, hey, I'm going to and fro on the earth from walking up and down in it. All right, the earth is the valley of the shadow of death. It got that way after the first man gave it to him. Go to Job, the 2nd chapter, and read verse 2.
Hallelujah.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence cometh thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down
In it. Yeah, he said it twice.
Right.
And then in another place in scripture it says the devil walks about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour.
Yep.
So what he doing all this walking for? He's trying to walk up on you and me.
Right.
But you can see him coming. You don't have to let him walk up on you.
Right.
Go to Genesis, the 5th chapter. But Yahweh does tell us to walk on the paths of righteousness.
That's
Genesis, the 5th chapter. And we see that that's what his people do.
Right.
Walk on the paths of righteousness. Genesis 5. Let's read verses 22 to 24. Please.
Hallelujah.
And
Enoch
walked with Elohim after he begot
Methuselah.
Their 100 years. 300 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with Elohim, and he was not, for Elohim took him.
So this was a righteous man. He was walking the paths of righteousness in the earth.
Yeah.
Enoch walked with Elohim after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And then verse 24, you see that Yahweh took him. He was a righteous man, walking the paths of righteousness. Go to Genesis 6th chapter and verse 9. And this is what we do. We walk the paths of righteousness. Genesis 6 and verse 9.
Here are the generations of Noah Noah was a just man and perfect in the generations, and Noah walked with Elohim.
All right, so here he's walking with the shepherd, just like we're walking
Right,
with the
right.
shepherd. Go to Psalms 37. The Old Testament says we not only walk on the paths of righteousness, but we wait on the paths of righteousness.
Yeah.
Psalms 37.
Hallelujah, Yahweh.
Psalms 37. And verse 7, please.
Hallelujah.
Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him.
Fret.
Fret not thyself because of him who
Prospereth.
prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
All right, said rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. So on the paths of righteousness, we not only walk, but we wait. Go to Isaiah, the 40th chapter. Isaiah or Yahshua, the 40th chapter. Still on the path. He said, hey, rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Isaiah 40. We want to read verse 31.
Hallelujah.
But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
All right, now here it's talking about us being on the path of righteousness, but still wait on Yahweh.
Right.
When we wait on Yahweh, we renew our strength.
Right.
We mount up with wings as eagles, we run and we're not weary, we walk and we don't faint. So the English word wait is a primitive Hebrew word kavah. That's Qavah, found in Blue Letter Bible number 6960. Jusinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines wait as to be strong, robust, to expect, to await, to lie in wait for anyone, to expect anything, to be gathered together, to look patiently for, to wait upon. Go to 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter. Now you notice in Isaiah 40, the Old Testament says not only do we wait, but we run. It says we run and we're not weary. Now the New Testament in 1 Corinthians says we are to run on the
I'd
path
like
of
the
righteousness.
congregation to repeat this after me. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I am at the right place.
I am at the right place.
At the right time.
At the right time.
I am at the right place.
I am at the right place.
At the right time.
At the right time.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. You go on with these songs now. You can clap your hands, stomp your feet, tap the ring up in front of you. Do anything you want to do.